You're currently seeing the first views we have today of Dragon after its departure from the International Space Station. Dragon is about 144 meters away from the International Space Station at this time. Again, we are looking for it to exit the Keep Out sphere about 200 meters away from the International Space Station. That should be coming up here shortly in just about a minute or two. And we currently see firings of Dragon as it conducts its Depart Burn 1. This is to last just about 22 seconds, changing the relative velocity as Dragon continues its departure.
Station Houston on 2, departure burn 1 complete.
And that was a nominal departure burn 1.
Station copies.
Station Houston, Dragon has exited the Keep Out sphere.
Woohoo! Station copies. Nice work, Dragon team and Houston. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Duke.
And that was Capcom Megan Harvey to NASA astronaut Nicole Mann aboard the International Space Station. Dragon has exited the Keep Out sphere. Next up for Dragon will be to exit the approach ellipsoid. Again, you're seeing live views of Dragon from the external camera from the International Space Station. Dragon is currently 286 meters away from the International Space Station at this time. If you're just joining us, you're seeing live coverage of the Cargo Dragon spacecraft as it has departed the International Space Station just about 10 minutes ago. Dragon has exited the keep out sphere, and we are currently awaiting for it to exit the approach ellipsoid. Again, these are two invisible lines around the International Space Station that govern vehicles that come and leave the International Space Station. Dragon's journey to the International Space Station began on November 26 when the spacecraft launched on a Falcon 9 rocket from the Space Launch Complex 39A at Cape Canaveral, Florida. The spacecraft lifted off over the Florida coast with more than 7,700 pounds of science, investigations, and supplies to begin its journey to the International Space Station. Originally slated for November 21st, the launch was moved to November 22nd, where the launch was scrubbed due to bad weather. Dragon was successfully launched aboard the Falcon 9 rocket on SpaceX's 26th commercial resupply mission to the International Space Station 4 days later on November 26th. And Dragon autonomously docked to the International Space Station on November 27th. The Dragon spacecraft carried scientific experiments and technology demonstrations that explored growing plants in space, creating nutrients on demand, and in-space construction, plus many more. The largest element of the cargo load was NASA's second pair of new rollout solar arrays to augment the space station's power system. The Arrosas were installed on two separate spacewalks on the exterior of the International Space Station on December 2nd and 22nd. Again, we are looking for Dragon to have a deorbit burn at 3:35 a.m. Central Time on Wednesday, January 11th, followed by a parachute-assisted splashdown off the coast of Florida at 4:19 a.m. Central Time, 5:19 a.m. Eastern Time. Dragon will be carrying back to Earth approximately 4,400 pounds of supplies and scientific experiments designed to take advantage of the space station's microgravity environment. To recap some of today's events, at 4 p.m. Central Time, the Undock command was sent from Hawthorne, California. Cargo Dragon had a successful undock at 4:05 p.m. Central Time, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time, as Dragon and the International Space Station were flying 259 statute miles below southeast Manila. We confirmed Dragon was out of the keep-out sphere at 4:11 p.m. Central Time, 5:11 p.m. Eastern Time. And our next immediate steps, we're looking for Dragon to cross the approach ellipsoid, and we're looking for that to happen around 4:24 p.m. Central Time. After exiting the approach ellipsoid, that will end our coverage for today. We will not be live for the deorbit burn or the parachute-assisted splashdown off the coast of Florida. However, you can follow along and keep up with what's happening on blogs.nasa.gov/space station. Again, that final splashdown off the coast of Florida will be around 4:19 a.m. Central Time, 5:19 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're just joining us, you're seeing live inside the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where we have just watched as Dragon departed the International Space Station. Just a recap again, if you missed it, flight controllers on the ground sent commands to release the uncrewed SpaceX Dragon spacecraft from the zenith port of the International Space Station Harmony module at the time of undocking at 4:05 p.m. Central Time, 5:05 p.m. Eastern Time. The station was flying at about 260 statute miles off the southeast of Manila, Philippines. The Dragon spacecraft successfully departed the space station and will return home about 4,400 pounds of scientific investigations and supplies. After re-enter Earth's atmosphere, the spacecraft will make a parachute-assisted splashdown off the coast of Florida on Wednesday, January 11th. We will not be broadcasting the splashdown, but updates will be posted on the agency's space station blog. That's blogs.nasa.gov/space station. Again, thank you for joining our live coverage of what's going on 250 miles above the Earth. We're signing off now. This is Mission Control Houston.